Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are finishing up the Banyan Wilds. I know, I can't believe it either. It's actually gone a lot quicker and smoother than I expected it would, and I'm really, really happy. This is it's starting to be a really fun project. I'm really, really enjoying it. And today, our last animal in the Banyan Wilds is going to be the Bengal tiger. So, we're gonna get their habitat. I want this to be a pretty epic habitat for them, and I'm going to base it loosely on the one at the Singapore Zoo. Singapore has very nice tiger habitats. They used to house white tigers almost exclusively. I believe now they have Malayan tigers, though. They're getting a little more of a conservation mindset, which is good. White tigers have no conservation value whatsoever. They're just pretty. They're also extremely inbred. Most of them are zoo mix. They have some Siberian, some Bengal in them. They're all descended from exactly one male tiger that was caught in the wild in 1960. And the only way to produce white tigers is to inbreed them. But that being said, this is a game. So yeah, we're getting our habitat in for the tigers using these same rock walls that we've been using before. It just helps add, continue that continuity. I am using a remaster mod for the Bengal tiger, which is made by, I believe, the illustrious Gaboy. Fantastic, and, for all I've said about, oh, well, white tigers, we have a nice one on the workshop as well as a golden tabby, so we're going to go with those. Um, I think those work out very nice. And then I wanted to have a fun little waterfall for these guys in the back of the habitat, as well as a smaller one up front. So here are our kitties. They look really, really nice. So just changing the color a little bit on these faux rocks really uh, helps the realism quite a bit, getting away from that tan color. And with these waterfall construction pieces, all I want to do is cover up the edges. And then I wanted to fill in the creek here that they have, the stream that goes through their habitat, because I don't want them swimming in that. I do want them to swim, but I want them to swim up front where the guests will see them. The creek stream that runs through the habitat is just more kind of decorative than functional. So again, covering up the edges of these waterfall pieces, adding various other faux rocks, and covering up the management building a little bit, just with a nice rock wall. And I think it's turning out to be pretty decent here. I want to make sure that the big waterfall looks fairly decent, because that is going to be a focal point of the habitat. Then the faux rocks combined with the go-away green makes the back of the habitat look nice and natural. We're going to give them a little cave shelter here. Not sure they can actually use it. I've never seen them in it, but it's there nonetheless. Yeah, they can't get into it. Oh, traversable terrain with these faux rocks is really a pain. I really hope in Planet Zoo 2 they work that out a little bit. And then I wanted some natural rock features in here as well. We're just going to build this out just with the one rock. Make sure there's a little bit of a ramp so they can get up on it. And then we're going to put some enrichment items on this to make sure that they will actually go up there and use it. And then we'll paint up their habitat a little bit to get it a little more suitable for them. And I'm enjoying how this is turning out. We're going to put a fake log, or not a fake log, a real log over the top of the waterfall here just to hide that one spot where the edging is visible. But for now, we're just going to get some faux rocks in. We're going to get some of this wonderful rock cluster in just to make some rocky ground cover. And I think that looks quite nice. And the big Planet Zoo log works really nice in this habitat. Why it's in the construction tab, I have no idea. It should be in the plant tab, which would make sense, but I guess it doesn't have any coverage or biome, so it's just it is just a construction piece. The arrowwood bushes, bracken, continuing the plant palette for this section. And we want this to be fairly lush. The habitat that's based on is quite lush. There's lots and lots of plant cover. We're getting in our grass, good old buffalo grass. Just spam that throughout the habitat. It will look good no matter where you put it, basically. Some mossy edging on some of these rocks because this is, again, the Banyan Wilds. It's a fairly wet area. So we want to kind of mimic that. And it's just part of the overall feel of this section of the zoo. Lots of bamboo, lots of bracken. And once the Bengal bamboo is in, kind of covering up the rock wall in places. We don't want to be staring at it, we just want it to be there, kind of in the background in the ambiance. The fountain bamboo for that really lush feel, and then we're gonna realize, as I do with almost every habitat, that I've gone a little bit too far. And that I've messed up the traversable terrain. Want to get some of these nice just some of the special effect pieces to kind of tie the creek in. I think it looks quite good at the end. And a few just broken trees in, just because you're going to see fallen logs in habitats a lot. They're good for the animals. They climb on them, they scratch on them. What gets me, though, is that these broken pieces have a coverage and a biome, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But hopefully in Planet Zoo 2, we kind of see a little change to that. Here's where I've realized that I have kind of screwed up and the cats can't get out of their building. So I have to go back in and carefully remove some strategic pieces to open up the traversable terrain again. This is why I make the habitat so big, is I want to be able to cram it full of plants, rocks, trees, all that good stuff, and still have it uh will have it be traversable at least somewhat. Now, the biggest problem is between the fountain bamboo and the rocky groups that I have. They just mess it up a little bit too much, so that's about as good as we're gonna get here. We finally have them to their space requirements, and we're gonna put a blood scent marker, some enrichment in for them, right up on top of this big rocky outcrop because we want them to come up here. We want them up here quite a bit so that they're visible to the guests all the time. So that works out really nicely. They are at nice high welfare. And already playing with their toys. We're going to go ahead and get the guest barrier in, which we're going to use the same barrier we used for the bears, which I think works really nicely between the water, the swimmable water here down at the base of the moat, and this sheer concrete wall. Now, I said we're basing this on the Singapore Zoo tiger habitat. Their barriers probably aren't what the AZA would consider uh like too standard. People have jumped into the tiger habitat at Singapore Zoo before and have been eaten by the tigers. So it's not it might be a tiger proof enclosure, but it's not a people proof enclosure. And for a zoo in Southeast Asia, there's a little different attitude there. My view is that if you are determined to get into the tiger habitat and be eaten by a tiger, go for it. Just don't give the animal indigestion. So, starting to look the way I want it. We have a good view at guest level of that big rocky outcrop there. And with the concrete barrier all around, it really adds continuity to the whole area. Wanted to add some of these basket ferns in a few different places, just attach them to the rock. And I think they look quite nice. I don't use these nearly enough. They're a little bit of a pain to place, as you can see, but they they look really good at the end. And just some tree ferns sunk into the rocks, just to add a little more of that lush feel. And again, check the traversable terrain, make sure we can, use everything. I'm going to change the color and opacity of the water a little bit. We'll do that in a couple of different habitats in Barbarossa as well, just to make it a little more realistic looking. So you're rarely going to see perfectly crystal clear water, only in like aquariums where that's actually necessary. In your general outdoor animal experience where the animals are, or exhibit, where the animals are going in and out of the water from dirt to, from the dirt of their substrate into what would originally be clean water, they're going to muddy it up. And we want that to feel nice and real. And then just more of our regular zoo plant palette, just as a reminder that this is a taiga zoo. So we get that little bit of the path covered up there. I don't worry about gaps in the path at all. If I have a gap in the path, that is an opportunity for it to be a planter or a rock feature, something like that. So that's exactly what we've done here. Turned it into a rock feature. We'll put some benches kind of along the edges there. And more bamboo. More bamboo. So this is the final habitat in the Banyan Wilds, and I am super thrilled with this, with how this has come out. This whole area has a really nice feel to it, really nice continuity. It feels like one cohesive area. I know I use the word continuity a lot. I like it. It's a good word. So that is the Banyan Wilds with the Bengal tiger. Subscribe if you want to see more, like, comment, do all the things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.